that they were testing for blood. There's something called luminol, which can light up a floor.
Everyone's seen this on CSI.
Yeah.
That they spray it, and it, allows them to see if there are traces of blood, even if it's been cleaned up.
So they were looking, on the floors. They were looking in drains to see if there were any traces of blood. We don't know.
David's younger brother, Caleb, just gave the police exactly what they needed to finally make an arrest, and this includes details of how he unalived Celeste and chopped her up. The last person anyone expected to be involved in this case was his brother, considering how close they were. Apparently, Caleb knew about David dating 15-year-old Celeste and tried speaking to her mom about it, but she didn't care. Celeste's half-brother even came out to give his own account of what happened, and let me tell you, this boy wasn't playing around. Not only did he flat out accuse David of taking Celeste's life, but he also exposed her mom for being horrible to her when she was alive.
This is actually her right there. That's my dad. Well, we got the same dad, but that's her right there. We don't like her mom. Her mom used to her, like, she always wanted to come, with our dad. She always wanted to live with our dad. And I don't even know where to start from. It's crazy. I was expecting my sister to be dead, but stuff was still seeming all right. I'm like, tell me where you at? Where is you at? Where's you at? She's not telling me. She's like, last time I talked to her. Last time I talked to her, she was like, she wanted to come home. She said she wanted to come home. So I'm guessing he was holding her hostage.
All this started when the LAPD was called to a car impound at Hollywood after they had received multiple complaints about a nasty odor at the impound. They ended up discovering the decomposed remains of a girl who was later identified to be 15-year-old Celeste Rivas. It turns out she had been reported missing in April of last year. She was found and brought home, but after a few weeks, she left again. Her mom panicked when she saw the news about the dismembered remains of a girl found in the trunk of a Tesla, so she reached out to TMZ, and TMZ reached out to the authorities. That's actually how the police were able to identify Celeste. Apparently, she was so badly decomposed that they couldn't initially make out who she was. And to top it off, she had been chopped up into pieces. Celeste's mom told the feds that Celeste was romantically involved with a guy called David, and this was confirmed when the police found out that David, who is 20 years old, had matching tattoos with Celeste that simply said, "Shh." This story was already going crazy, but people were giving David the benefit of the doubt since there were also reports that some of his friends sometimes use his car. However, when it was revealed that he and this 15-year-old girl had a romantic relationship, everything changed. People started digging into all his past interactions with Celeste to see just how far back this thing goes. And boy, oh boy, they found a lot. David was rubbing this whole thing in our face the entire time, but no one caught on to it because we didn't know the girl he was parading around was just 15. Except for this one person who actually left a comment on his TikTok last year, calling him out, waiting for LAPD to get you for messing with a 13-year-old girl. From the looks of it, this person was close to one of Celeste's friends and got word about him and Celeste's relationship. In fact, several of Celeste's friends and some people from her neighborhood came out and accused her mom of selling her off to David. According to them, Celeste's family knew she was with David, and they also knew he was way older than her, but they still allowed her to keep going back to him because he was giving them money. He was also paying off her friends so they wouldn't tell anyone. And honestly, this checks out, because come to think of it, why didn't Celeste's mother mention David to the police when she initially reported her missing last year? And even if she didn't know about David at the time, why didn't she mention him to the police the second time she ran from home? She only brought up David once she heard that there was a decomposed body found. It wasn't until the thought of her daughter being possibly dead hit her that she finally decided to mention David to the police. The police recently also tore his house apart in search of evidence, and from the photos going around on the internet, it seems like they found a lot and will be going in for an arrest any day from now. In fact, his house is just 6 minutes away from the impound his car was at, so police are now theorizing that he unalived her in the house, then drive the body to the impound to abandon it there.
That he appeared to have been staying in the Hollywood Hills. So we now find out that they were testing for blood. There's something called luminol, which can light up a
Everyone's
floor.
seen this on CSI.
Yeah.
That they spray it and it, allows them to see where if there are traces of blood, even if it's been cleaned up.
So they were looking, on the floors. They were looking in drains to see if there were any traces of blood. We don't know what the results of the search were, but it's significant because the Tesla that contained her body in the trunk was parked nearby. And so it seems like their working theory is she might have been
dismembered in the house and then placed in that car and parked, a block and a half away.
Right, and we should say that the police have not named a suspect yet. The police have not named a person of interest yet, but that doesn't mean they don't have one. They got a search warrant, which means they clearly were able to show a judge that there was probable cause to believe a crime was committed. But the police have been playing this really close to the vest.
One of Celeste's neighbors said her family was allowing her to ran off with David when she was as young as 13. She even began financially dependent on him. And of course, he didn't mind at all because all he had to do was give them a couple thousands and they'll let him have their 13-year-old daughter in his house for as long as he wanted. And in case you're doubting this, there are messages between him and Celeste in which she was telling him that her parents were annoying, to which he replied, "Don't worry, I'll fix it." He knew a little PayPal transfer was going to make them back off. And apparently he was giving them up to $10,000 a week.
We may now have evidence that Celeste's family knew about her relationship with David and allowed it. And this comment from 2024 is getting a lot of attention. So someone in Celeste's community commented on a post saying, "I live in Lake Elsinore, 5 to 10 minutes away. There was so much more going on. Her family knew he was with her since she was 11. They didn't care. All they cared for was the money given to them." She said, unfortunately, she was reported missing in 2024, but they all knew where she was. Even her friends extorted David with money so they wouldn't say where she was staying. I think the mom should be held responsible too for allowing a child to move in with a boyfriend at that age. There's a lot more than what's being said. Here in Elsinore, all her friends are talking about it because she was in communication with them. So sad. She said she would sneak out at age 11 even though her neighborhood is horrible, but her parents saw that he had money and became more dependent and would let her leave the house at 13 even though he was 18. She said her mother sold her for $10K a week and he paid so that he wouldn't be seen as a... which does add up with their Discord messages of her complaining about her parents and him saying, "Don't worry, I'll fix it." And the other crazy thing is that people found this comment on one of David's videos back in 2024 where someone named Robin River said he's waiting on the cops to get David for messing with minors. This is long before many of us knew about him and Celeste would be around 13 at that time. Since then, his account has blown up and people are waiting and hoping that whoever this is gives us some answers. Rest in peace to Celeste. Let me know what you guys think, and as anything comes out, I'll keep you guys updated.
Even before the police confirmed that it was really Celeste in that car, her friends also knew it was her. This guy is a weirdo. A close friend's little sister from the IE ran away last year, and this is who she was with. We think her sister was her out. She was in 7th grade at the time. LAPD swept his place in the hills. I'm terrified that's who is in the car. Nobody has heard from her in months. I won't release names as she's still a minor, but she was from Lake Elsinore. Multiple messages from Celeste's friends leaked on Discord. Once again, they were accusing him of taking Celeste's life, even before the police knew the decomposed body was Celeste. Last me and Celeste talked, she was drunk and spam calling David. They have matching tattoos from when they dated. David used to have pictures of her up on his Instagram, but after they broke up, he took it off. Only thing throwing me off is the age, but I'm just gonna assume she lied about her age to everyone in our friend group back then because they did date, and then 2 days after that call with me and her, she deleted her whole account. Pictures too. It turns out that after she disappeared from her family's house the second time, she was still in contact with her friends, but she randomly stopped texting them around the same time David would have allegedly taken her life. Some messages between him and Celeste also leaked, and in those messages, David admitted to paying her family over $10,000 a month and impregnating her. Celeste created another Discord account called Deleted User right before she died, and she used to talk to David a lot in this account. A few months ago, she posted this photo to her account wearing an engagement ring that David had given to her with a new tattoo that said David. There were also several photos of David in Celeste's neighborhood, creeping around the whole place. People in the neighborhood claim he used to come there a lot to see her and sometimes pick her up. Now, remember what I said earlier about David's brother Caleb coming out to speak out against him? Word on the street is that right after David stopped cooperating with the police, they reached reached out to his brother, Caleb, and Caleb actually agreed to talk to them. Caleb is reportedly disgusted by what David did, and he is ready to tell them everything they need to know to get Celeste the justice she deserves. Even with all this, what really got people were all the references to Celeste he made in his music. Mind you, all these songs were recorded way before Celeste disappeared, meaning that he had been premeditating the whole thing way before he actually committed the crimes. In his song Romantic Homicide, he sang the lyrics, "In the back of my mind, you died, and I didn't even cry. Not a single tear. In the back of my mind, I killed you, and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it."
This case keeps on getting weirder and darker. So David, the singer who had a 15-year-old girl found dead in his car, supposedly was bringing caskets to his recent concert. Take a look at this video. This girl looks like she was filming it on July 30th. You can clearly see caskets, and I guess the idea of this was for people to write notes to the dead. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, just watch my recent videos on this and it'll catch you up. But also, the girl who died, her name was Celeste Hernandez, and her birthday was on September 7th. If you look at the date, Romantic Homicide, one of his songs that talks about literally killing someone, it was released on September 7th, 3 years ago, and this is straight from YouTube. Now, if we go to his TikTok, his last post was on September 7th, and it talked about him releasing a new album, and these look like text messages, the photos he posted maybe, but there's also 15 of them, and she turned 15 on September 7th. Speaking of his TikTok, a lot of his reposts are pretty scary. I mean, it's just toxic relationship stuff. They're memes, but now they carry a different meaning. If you're wondering how old David is, he is 20 and the girl is 15. And in this chat, you can see some Epstein jokes being made, and then she says this.
He trained you. That's controversial.
It's controversial of it's
really good.
Okay,
it's been a good one.
Clearly the age difference not good, and he didn't care because in one of his songs he says, "I don't care about the law when I'm with you because I be breaking it all the time."
But it's true, an old song that he had previously released on SoundCloud titled Celeste also resurfaced, and as you can guess, the song was about her. The lyrics read, "Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed, oh Celeste. Afraid you'll only love me when undressed, but you look so damn gorgeous in that dress. Missing you so much makes me depressed." A snippet from his music videos recently resurfaced, and it featured him putting a dead body in the trunk of his car, seemingly referencing what he did to Celeste. Celeste's former teacher who saw David's and Celeste's very toxic relationship play out in real time also said he witnessed David coming to pick Celeste up. A lot of people were wondering why he didn't step in to stop him from going away with Celeste, but it's important to remember that her parents knew and didn't care. Even if other people wanted to step in and help, it'll be hard because Celeste has a history of running from home, and she would have probably just run off to David just like all the other previous times. I cannot believe she's been missing since April 2024 and finally found in such a decomposition state. That's wild. This is crazy. It's not looking good for him to not be involved in the suspect. The car was never reported stolen from what I read either. It just ain't adding up. Bless her heart, may she rest in peace. Another person said, he needs to be arrested quick so he don't try to hide evidence or unalive himself. So he won't be able to tell what really happened seriously. They're letting him get away with it more and more each day. How sick, get him, and get him quick before he hurts someone out of paranoia and rage. But now I want to know your thoughts. Do you really believe David took Celeste's life? And what do you think about his brother snitching on him? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.